You ever have a moment that feels ordinary when it happens, but later you realize it split your life in two? For me, it was just another rainy night behind the wheel. Until one passenger, an old man with haunted eyes, gave me something no amount of money could buy. Redemption. My name's Ethan Ward, and this is the story of how a single ride turned my broken life into a second chance, and a legacy that outlived both of us. If you've ever lost something you thought you'd never get back, your dream, your family, your purpose, hit that subscribe button, because this isn't just a story about money or luck. It's about the quiet kind of justice that life gives. When you finally stop running from who you are, drop a comment below. Where are you listening from? Your response could help my story reach more people. Let's dive in. I used to think my life was simple, predictable. I owned a little coffee shop in Seattle called the Copper Mug. It wasn't fancy, but it was home. My dad had opened it back in the 80s, the kind of place where everyone knew your name, where the walls smelled like cinnamon and coffee beans, and regulars felt more like family than customers. When he handed it to me, he said, "Don't just run a business, son. Run a home for tired souls." For years I did exactly that. But then came the pandemic. Seattle went silent, streets empty, windows boarded, laughter gone. Bills didn't stop, though. And when our landlord doubled the rent, I begged his assistant for just one more month. One. She replied with an email I can still see burned into my memory. "Business is business." That phrase echoed in my head the day I locked the doors for the last time. My father called it a disgrace, said I'd failed our family's legacy. He didn't care about the rent, the lockdowns, or the empty streets. He only saw a son who couldn't keep his dream alive. We argued. He shouted, "You lost what I built." I snapped back, "You never let me make it my own." And that was it. The last words we ever said to each other. After that, everything crumbled. My marriage, gone. Savings, gone. Pride, gone. I sold what little I had and started driving rideshare. At first, I told myself it was temporary. But months turned to years. You ever stare at your own reflection in a car's rearview mirror at 3 a.m. and not recognize the man looking back? That was me, a stranger to my own life. My days became a blur of headlights, late-night passengers, and quiet conversations that faded like the rain on my windshield. 8 years passed that way. 8 years of routine, exhaustion, and silence. Until one night, one stormy, sleepless night, when everything changed. It was just past midnight. Rain hit the pavement in sheets, turning the city lights into liquid gold. I was about to end my shift when one last request popped up. Pickup from a private airfield. Something about it felt strange, but something else told me to accept. When I pulled up, a security guard helped an old man into the back seat. He was dressed in a soaked, expensive coat. His hands trembled, and his eyes, they looked tired in a way that had nothing to do with age. "Where to, sir?" I asked. He took a long breath, then said softly, "Just drive." I need to think, so I did. Rain hammered against the windshield as we cut through the sleeping city. For a while, neither of us spoke. Just the rhythmic whisper of wipers and thunder somewhere far off. Then, out of nowhere, his voice cracked through the silence. "You ever regret something so much you'd give anything to change it?" I glanced at him through the mirror. His eyes were wet, not from the rain. I said, "Everyone has something. For me, it's my dad. We fell apart when I lost our family cafe. I never got the chance to fix it." He nodded, like my words unlocked a memory. "I know that kind of regret," he whispered. "I had a son once. We fought over the business I built. He wanted to take it a different direction. I called him ungrateful. 3 months later, he was gone. car accident. The weight in his voice made my chest tighten. I had everything, he said quietly, except time to say I'm sorry. And for the next hour, we didn't drive to any destination. We just drove. Two men, both haunted by words we couldn't take back. When the storm finally calmed, something in his face softened, like letting those words out had lifted years of pain from his shoulders. When I dropped him at a gated estate, he reached into his coat and handed me a check. I froze. It was for $10,000. You remind me of him, he said with a faint smile. Maybe that's not an accident. Then he disappeared behind the gate. 2 days later, I was scrolling through my phone at a diner when his face flashed on the TV above the counter. Billionaire philanthropist Charles Weston passes away at 83. The fork slipped from my hand. The man from the ride, the one who'd handed me that check, was gone. They said he'd died peacefully in his sleep the morning after we met. For hours I just sat there, replaying our conversation, wondering if that drive had been his way of making peace with the past. I thought that was the end of it, until a week later when I heard a knock on my apartment door. A lawyer stood there, holding a sealed envelope with my name written in shaky handwriting. Inside was a letter. Ethan, you reminded me of my son. Despite everything, you still have the courage to fight. You reminded me that stubborn sons deserve forgiveness, not abandonment. Our conversation helped me see clearly. I've made arrangements that will reach you soon. Don't waste what I couldn't keep. Time with those who matter. Charles. At first, I thought it was a final thank you. But 2 days later, the law firm called. They said Charles had left a portion of his estate to me. $78 million. I laughed, then hung up, then cried, because it had to be a scam. It wasn't. The paperwork was real, notarized, verified, legally binding. Later, I found out we were distant relatives, connected through his grandmother's side, generations back from my hometown. It didn't feel like luck, it felt like purpose. You know what I did with the money? I didn't buy a mansion. I didn't run away to some beach. I started a foundation, the Weston Renewal Foundation. Its mission was simple, to help people rebuild after loss. People who'd failed once, who'd been told they weren't enough. Single parents starting over, students who dropped out, small business owners crushed by circumstance, people like me. We gave them second chances, the kind Charles gave me, and the very first grant we issued wasn't for my father, it was because of him. We reopened the Copper Mug. This time it wasn't just a cafe. It was a community hub, a place where people could get a cup of coffee, apply for mentorship, or just talk to someone who understood failure. On opening day, I stood behind the counter, nervous as hell. Then the door opened, and there he was, my father. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. He just smiled, walked over, and placed his hand on my shoulder. That touch said everything. Forgiveness, pride, love. The past didn't need words anymore. It's been years since that day. The foundation has helped hundreds, each one a story of someone who refused to let failure define them. And every Friday night I still drive. Not because I need to, but because I want to remember. I pick up strangers who might need someone to listen, the way Charles needed someone that night. Sometimes it's a college kid scared about the future. Sometimes a widow just needing to talk. Sometimes someone who reminds me of me, lost, searching. I never tell them my story. I just listen, because I believe one ride, one conversation, one act of kindness can change a life. Charles gave me his fortune, but what he really gave me was a second chance to be the man my father hoped I'd become. And every time I look at the sign above that cafe door, the Copper Mug, home for tired souls, I realize maybe the universe does have a way of setting things right. Sometimes justice doesn't come as revenge, it comes as redemption. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't outrun regret, but you can outgrow it. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's freedom. And sometimes the most unexpected people become the ones who save you, not with money, but with meaning. If this story hit home for you, if you've ever wanted to start over, or if you believe second chances can turn pain into purpose, drop a heart in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs hope tonight, because sometimes all it takes is one conversation in the rain to change everything.